Welcome to The Dark Side with Verity, a podcast where we dive into all the real and raw transformations made possible through breathwork. We all have a dark side, but it doesn't need to be heavy. And this is why we share stories to bring in the lightness, to lift the load so that we can all feel a little less alone and know that our stuff doesn't define us. And we move through this lifetime with more ease and grace. Let's dive right in. Welcome, welcome. Today's episode may just be one of the most important episodes I've ever done. It's talking about the nervous system of the facilitator, and how you show up as a facilitator matters more than what you guide. So let's begin with our breath. We're going to take one big breath. Big inhale through the nose. Sigh it out with sound. Beautiful. We talk a lot. I talk a lot about the nervous system of the client, but far less about the nervous system of the facilitator. And this now more and more is going to be something I'm going to address because it is what's important. The state you bring into a room, your pacing, your tone, your urgency, your steadiness shapes everything that unfolds inside. And this applies to so much more than facilitation, but obviously this is what I know, so I'm going to start here. So in this episode, I want to talk about the nervous system of the facilitator, not as criticism, not as a standard to live up to, but as a responsibility that we carry when we work with other people. And this applies to coaches, to yoga teachers, to anybody holding space for other humans. It's easier to focus on the client other than ourselves. Many facilitators are trained to hold space without learning how to hold themselves. This terrifies me because if you think as a facilitator you can hold space for others without doing your own internal work, cracks will show. The clients will feel it. Come and talk to me. Because self-regulation is offers framed as personal development, not professional responsibility. The era of personal development, I don't know, is it still happening? Hopefully, but in a healthier way now. Because there's fear in naming this, because it removes the illusion of neutrality. The idea that facilitators can be neutral observers is comforting, but it's not accurate. Nervous systems are relational. They communicate constantly. So if you haven't done your own internal work and you're a facilitator and something pops up and it triggers something that you haven't dealt with, it's unsafe. There is so much pre-work that goes into becoming a facilitator before you learn how to hold space, how you have a person laying in front of you. You've got to go through the grueling process of facing your own shit. One of the biggest things I do with my facilitators is called the journey of life. And we go back through everything that's ever happened to you in your lifetime. It is the most healing thing you can ever do. It's messy. It's the messy middle, but we do it in a few weeks. It's deep. I do it with my one-on-one clients and my intensive packages as well. To date, it is still the most valuable, healthy thing you can do. And we don't dig all this up for no reason. We dig it up to heal it and create space in the body. That way it doesn't show up unannounced and you unleash on people in front of you, or you panic when a client's in front of you. Facilitators, when they're dysregulated, it comes across as a client not feeling deeply heard and seen. And your job when you hold space is to ensure that happens with your client. Because if a facilitator is making it about themselves, not intentionally, but if they're dysregulated, they're over talking. They're filling all of these silences to manage their own anxiety, which means they haven't done the work on that. They're rushing quickly, moving people through their sessions or their moments too quickly. Like, oh, yep, that one freaked me out. That looked a bit too intense. So let's just move along. Like imagine being in a process and that's happening. Or you're in a process and all of a sudden a facilitator jumps on top of you and starts hugging you and shaking you. That's or or they freeze. They just become quite distant and overly still and dissociated. Meanwhile, you're sharing the deepest, darkest things that have happened in your life, or they're overcompensating. And you're watching all of their boundaries go out the window. And most of these behaviors aren't conscious choices. They're nervous system responses, and they show up because the facilitator hasn't done the work prior. Good intentions aren't enough in this space. Care without regulation will still cause harm. We all want to be judged on our intentions, correct? That actually, it's not real. Good intentions don't override your nervous system dynamics. Being heart-led doesn't mean you're resource. Being heart-led does it make you a safe human. Skill lives in how we respond under pressure. You're not going to know how you respond if you've not been in that situation, if you've not embodied it. When the facilitator is dysregulated, the system no longer has an anchor. And without the anchor, even well-held spaces drift. Regulated facilitation will feel like steady and safe in your body. There's less need to explain or to reassure. There's silence and it feels okay. There's clarity about when someone's about to intervene and when to wait. You can feel in your body. Imagine you're laying down on the ground on your back. You're breathing. You can sense sometimes when someone's there and it feels calming and safe, and someone will put a hand on you and it's a safe space for you to release. If someone struts up to you, sits down next to you and starts like shaking you, that's not going to feel nice. It's going to freak you out. It's going to take you out and make you go, oh, and you jump out of all the work that you've just done. So it's knowing how to read the room, the ability to repair when something doesn't land. Like you can't say in a yoga class, you say a cue and half the class does one thing, half the class does the other. It means what you've said hasn't landed. You can't then pack your bags and walk out of the room halfway through a class. You've got to be regulated enough to make a joke, to bring everyone back, to ground the room again, to reset. Regulated facilitators don't feel perfect. Nothing is perfect. They feel present. They're with you. And that presence does all of the work. Self-regulation isn't self-care. It's not having a warm bubble bath. It's ethics. It's responsible because clients unconsciously attune to the facilitator's state. If you're high energy, you're rolling in, your client's going to walk in and go, oh, okay, yep, I kind of need to match this. Not thinking, that's just naturally what happens. So there's a whole practice around welcoming your client into the space. It's so fun, by the way. You can do this with your friends and not even tell them. Being able to regulate people without saying a word is a beautiful skill to have. Ethical practice is lived. It's embodied. It's not, oh, I'm ethical now. Your body over time feels it. It's boundaries, it's pacing, it's being able to repair the room and bring everyone back to regulation. There is things that are going to happen that are going to be out of your control. I've run retreats outside. I've had people walking past and yelling and screaming who are drunk. I've had people deliver the ice too early, the ice bath, and he's like, oh, what the fuck you got this for? Well, everybody's in Shavasana. If you panic in those moments, everybody else is going to panic and think, what the fuck, do? It is your job to hold the space so presently, so tightly that ethics aren't something that we say at the beginning of a session. Today I'm going to be ethical. You should be ethical all the time. There's something that the nervous system experiences throughout the entire session. It's an experience where your body relaxes into understanding. This is why the Vidya Facilitator goes beyond breathwork training. It has so much in it. It's so hard to explain, but it's all the stuff that's important and to me was normal and common sense when creating the training. As I see now, it's so much, but look, I'm not going to take it back because at Vidya we spend so much time on the nervous system of the facilitator. You are important. That will be felt because you lead with embodiment, you lead with responsibility. Then that leads onto the nervous system of the client. If people aren't embodied what they teach, are you going to trust them? Because how you show up is part of the intervention. You are your work. You should be walking, talking, and that doesn't mean you're a perfect human. Nobody is perfect. But it means that you have compassion for others because you've done the work yourself. You know what it feels like to be in alignment and everything works out and you've got all your rituals and your practices. But you also know what it's like to be human and they all go out the window. That makes you relatable. No one wants to be looked at as this unattainable human that no one can be like. You want to hold space for people and be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it too. If he can do it, I too can do this. Because we're all human. Nobody's better than anyone else. So if you recognize yourself in this episode, it's not a bad thing. There's no judgment. It's just information for your body. Every facilitator has nervous system patterns. Every human has nervous system patterns. Skill doesn't eliminate them. It's about recognizing them early and responding with care. That's what makes this work sustainable for you and for all the people that you hold space for. Details for working with us will be in the show notes. You know where to find me. None of this is to criticize. It's to let you know that being human is normal. Being human and learning and understanding is how we grow. And when you know your nervous system and you know how to reset it, it knows that a slight thing that doesn't go to plan isn't going to kill you. It can handle stress. Stress is the biggest killer in this world. It will cause all kinds of things that we don't want to happen. So regulate your stress, let go of anxiety, let go of all the stuff that has now become wildly normal. Well, people have busy brains, so I can't do this thing. If I can do stuff, you can. Look, we can all think of excuses or reasons why not to, but the biggest one is to regulate so you can. Be a yes person. Be a doer. Ciao. That is a wrap of The Dark Side with Verity. Thank you for joining and being here to support our guests as they move, shift and share through real transformation, sharing their stories from the darkest of places, allowing you to see their light. This is where the change will happen. You know the drill. Like, share, chat about it, connect with us. We're here for more and you know it.